For the interior shades, if you've got interior shades, so in Worcester we have these, in the computer lab we have these Venetian blinds, these aluminum Venetian blinds. I've got two shades that I've set up in the model, and you can find them right here. There's a window material shade and there's a window material blind. So the blind is like a Venetian blind and the shade is like a fabric shade. This fabric shade is a light colored shade. It has quite a bit of solar reflectance, so it's light in color, as well as visible reflectance. And the blind is a medium reflectivity slat, similar to what we've got here in Worcester. And what you need to do is quite simply select one or the other, or none. If you've got none, then you can, let's see, what's the best way of doing this? You could, you know what, if you've got none, leave it as it is and I'll show you how to control them so that they don't work. But if you have the slats, then you pick the slats. If you've got something similar to shades, then you pick the interior shade. And I'm going to turn this back to slats so I don't forget. And then this, this is going to be the window without the shades, and this is the window with the shades. And this is a very interesting thing about, and it's a window into how EnergyPlus works. It uses a schedule to control when it would be this assembly and when it would be this assembly. And you can kind of help, you can define that schedule. You see down here it says window property shading control, and the interior shade control is linked to the shading type interior blind. If I had shades, I'd want to link it to interior shade, like that. You notice that it also, sorry, I just said the same thing twice. If you have blinds, you want to link it to interior blind, like that. And what's going on, and you see that it's linked to the construction with shading type exterior window interior shade, because that is this name right here, exterior window interior shade. So you don't need to change that name. In fact, don't change it because it will mess up the dependencies. And how the shade works is it's being controlled effectively by how much solar radiation is on the window. This is a proxy for saying that if there's a lot of sun on the window, people are going to close the shades. And so what the simulation software is doing is saying that if there's more than 350 watts per square meter of radiation on the shade or on the window, then it will change state and the shade will be deployed, or it will use the window assembly with the shade built in. And so that's the way this is working. If you wanted to change this to be off, then you change the schedule name to always off. It's that simple. Now when it goes to look for the shade, it won't be there, or it won't have availability. And that's the easiest way of defining it. The other thing you have to be aware of is as you make windows geometrically, they will be defined in this file. So actually I should show you the fenestration surface detailed. These are all of the windows that I've got in the file. Remember when we made the geometry originally, we made 6 windows on the west side and 3 on the north. So this should be 9 total windows. And this shading control name is linked to that shading control object we just looked at. So it says interior shade control, and if you look at the shading control here, this says interior shade control. So if you make a new window, you must, if you want to control shades, go through and it will by default look like this, and you need to add the shade control to that window. I guess another way of doing this, before I said you can change the shade control to always on or always off. You could also just make this cell blank, not blank, but blank, like that, and now there would be no shade control for that window.